Hello, welcome back. I am Nisma Mustafa. Silent letters. How annoying are they? Silent letters could be very frustrating for any English learner and even for the native speakers. But you know what? I feel sorry for those letters. People always see them written and they just decide to ignore them. But the good news is, in this video, I try to collect the most common silent letters that you're going to use daily. So let's get started. Starting with letter B. Letter B is always silent when it comes after an M at the end of a word, like in climb, limb, thumb, lamb, lamb. In all these words, you just ignore the B and you stop at the sound of the M. But notice, the B is going to be pronounced normally after an M when it comes in the middle of a word, like when you say member, symbol, number. In all these words, the B is pronounced normally. But there is an exception for this. The B is going to be silent after an M in words like climber, plumber. In these words, the B is still silent. Letter C. Letter C is silent when it comes after an S at the beginning of a word, like in scissors, science, scenario, scene. And it's also silent when the SC comes in the middle of words like muscle and fascinate. Letter D. Letter D is silent in some of the most common words that we use every day, like when you say Wednesday, can't hear the sound of the D. Sandwich, handsome. In all these words, you can't hear the sound of the D. It's silent. Now with letter E. Letter E is silent when it comes at the end of a word, like when you say give, have, some, before. And sometimes the silent E makes an effect on the vowel before it, like when you say cape, cube, site. To learn more about this, please go and watch my previous video about the magic E. I will leave a link in the description box. But notice, the E couldn't be silent when it comes at the end of word, whereas the E is the only vowel, like when you say he, she, we, be. Try pronouncing these words without saying the sound of the E. It will be hilarious, right? There is another case for the silent E. In the past form of the regular verbs, which all end with ed, in so many cases the E is silent. Like when you say played, asked, looked. You can't hear the sound of the E. We don't say asked, we don't say played, we don't say looked. No, looked, asked, played. Drop the sound of the E. Letter G. Letter G is silent when it comes before an N at the end of a word, like in sign, design, campaign, foreign. But this doesn't work when the GN is in the middle of a word, like in magnet, signature, cognate. Letter H. Letter H has so many cases, but I chose few for you. Let's start with the silent H in the combination of CH. I'm sure that you know that the CH makes the sound of ch, like when you say chip or chair. But sometimes the H is silent. We just ignore it in the CH and we only pronounce the sound of the C, K. Like when you say school, chemical, chemistry, mechanic. We have another case for the silent H. Sometimes when I have a GH at the beginning of a word, the H is silent and I only pronounce the sound of the G. Like when you say ghost, ghee, ghastly. Another case for the H when it comes with a W at the beginning of a word. Sometimes we only pronounce the sound of the W. Like when you say while, whale, when, why. If you have any other examples in mind, please write them in the comments. Now with letter K. Letter K is quite easy. Letter K is silent when it comes at the beginning of a word followed by an N. Like when you say knee, knock, knob, no, night, which also have silent GH. So practically half of its letters are silent. Letter L. Letter L is silent in some of the most famous and common words we use every day. Like when you say walk, talk, should, would, half. Letter N. Letter N is silent when it comes after an M at the end of a word. Like when you say autumn. You only stop at the sound of the M. We just ignore the N. Column. Condemn, which means to refuse someone or something for moral reasons. Next we have letter P. The P is silent when it's followed by an S at the beginning of a word. Like when you say psychology, psychiatrist, psychic. Letter S. Letter S is silent in some of the most common words that I'm sure that you know. Like in island, aisle, aisle. Yeah, they have the same pronunciation. They are homophones, but they have different meanings. Aisle means a small island, but aisle means a passage between chairs or shelves, like the one that you have in the supermarket, or when you say the bride is walking down the aisle. Letter T. Letter T is silent when it comes after an S in words like castle, whistle, listen, fasten. And with the last letter we have today, letter W. Letter W is going to be silent when it comes at the beginning of a word followed by an R. Like when you say right, wrong, wrist, wrinkle, rab. And it's also silent in some of the most common words, like when you say to, sword, who, answer. That's it for today. I hope you find this video helpful. If you have in your mind any other example for words that have silent letters, please write them in the comments. See you soon. Bye bye.